Dear me, I know you feel worthless and defeated, and you think that this is going to go on and on and on like it will never end. And as much as I hate to say it, you've just about convinced me that you're right. I realize there is a constant void and emptiness that you live with. It's like it follows you everywhere you go. Even last night when you laid down to try and get some sleep, you were hoping and praying it would be gone in the morning. And when you woke up for a little while, it was. But right when you thought your smile was going to last, depression showed up, and your bright and shiny day turned dark and cloudy as usual. It's like time comes to a standstill when depression comes around, and it's always an unannounced and unwelcomed appearance. It's the killjoy that robs your energy and steals your laughter and hijacks your motivation. You look 20 years older every time depression shows up and makes itself at home. From your head being held high to a head down frown, depression has the power to make you think, feel, and act like the person you know you're not. And I know you try not to, but you get stuck on social media comparing your same old sob story situation to all of your friends and family and their perfectly pictured posts of pleasure and peace. You try to cheer yourself up by buying yourself your favorite food, just to find out that you can't even eat it. You don't even want it. You put your favorite movie on, but it just makes you feel worse. You say to yourself, maybe I'll try going for a walk. But you can't even bring yourself to put your shoes on. You've even thought about doing something nice for someone else, but immediately you are filled with jealousy and envy. The easiest things that you normally do all the time, just like stepping out of the house, take an overwhelming amount of courage that leaves you almost crawling and barely capable. Your memory and required ability to concentrate are fleeting you and failing you. I can't remember. I can't remember. At work, you try to focus and work hard, but you can't remember even the simplest tasks you've done 1,000 times. They end up taking you 10 times longer than they should, causing you to hate the job you thought you enjoyed to the point that you just want to throw in the towel and quit. You used to be fearless when it came to fighting for the future of your family and passionate about your pursuit and purpose, but depression is diligent and defiant. It digs in, drags down, and devastates. You're terrified of interacting with the people who care about you, and you've become an introvert to the community that you call home because you keep telling yourself that you should have the willpower to overcome this depression. But the thought of telling people about your depression fills you with an overwhelming fear of humiliation, so you just keep it to yourself and deal with it on your own. When people ask how you're doing, you put on a smile and say, "I'm fine." You've become such an expert at telling that lie that you've convinced yourself that it's actually true. Living a lie is such a demanding burden that you have got to be worn out from it. And I can tell you are, because you end up saying harmful and hurtful things to the people you love, and you end up pushing people away, especially the ones that you need the most. It becomes almost impossible to put up with how pessimistic you get. Deep down, there is someone that others want to love, and that same person wants to love them back, but depression is like an old friend that you can't stand to be around, but you don't know how to get rid of. And when they finally leave, you shout for freedom, but then immediately you get a text that says, "I'll be back tomorrow." Great. So much for having a good night's sleep tonight. And so the joy of freedom, it's only ever momentary. Most of the people in your life think you're just sad. But what they don't know is that it's much more than just being sad. You've done your best to explain to me what it's like, and you've tried to put it into words so I can understand you, but the best description I've ever heard you give is when you simply said, "I just don't care." As the years have gone by, you seem to care less and less, while depression becomes more and more. Time after time, you thought you had it beat, only to find out that you were the one beaten. I've watched you struggle to show the compassion and tenderness you desperately want to give, and your reluctance to give it has left you lonely and void. Lonely needed company, so you made friends with the pills. And void needed filling, so you got close with the bottle. But the company that you were looking for in them, it passed quickly, and all they left behind was pain and grief. And your rock bottom came when you completely shut down and wanted to shut yourself off for good. You believed the lies that depression told you to just end it all. You were convinced it was pointless to be stuck in a downward spiral, and that the bottom of the spiral was such a long way down, you just wanted to quit wasting time, get to the bottom, and get it over with. But I am forever grateful that you finally looked up, you finally got up, and you finally decided not to give up. The disgraceful disappointment of depression almost left you dead by your own doing. But you finally asked for the help that you did not want, but you needed all along. Because out of the darkness of depression, a sparkle of courage emerged. It was a quiet but resolute decision in asking for help and continuing to ask over and over again, despite how difficult it was and still is. Humbling yourself and seeking the loving assistance you were desperate for allowed for the professional counseling and medical support you needed. But more importantly, it allowed you to address the spiritual practices that offered you the peace and sense of connection you have needed for years. The journey has been far from easy. It's been marked with setbacks and moments of doubt. But you have persevered. Through professional counseling and therapy, medication, and a deepening spiritual awareness, you began to reclaim your life, piece by piece. And you've come to realize that there is no one-size-fits-all quick-fix remedy, but you have fought this fight with persistence. You stuck it out, and you have found what works for you. And you've learned that you are not alone in this fight, and have come to know that millions of people are in the same daily battle. Gradually, the haze has lifted, and you have rediscovered your unique purpose that makes you who you are. I've watched you develop the strength to face your depression and let depression know that you are not afraid anymore. Now, depression has not disappeared entirely, but you have learned to live with it and manage it with grace and resilience. In fact, depression has forced you to become a steadfast inspiration to others who have been where you have been. Incorporating quiet time and rest with a healthy exercise regimen has given you a sense of peace that you thought only self-medicating could provide. Today, you are a living testament to the power, hope, healing, and the profound transformation that occurs when a person bravely and continually seeks the help to overcome depression. Your victory has made a believer out of me, and I want to tell you, thank you for that. Please, keep living. I can't make it without you. I need you. Love me. Dear you, please like and subscribe. And please share this too. I need you. We need each other. The end.